Alright, for all the people that have been waiting, here is part 4 for the CRV. Just started lifting it. This is the one wheel that is done and is sitting on the ground. That is how high it's going to be sitting. So those 2-inch blocks are really going to do it justice. This is what my setup looks like. It is a $15 2-inch lift kit. So we will see how it holds together. But this one is done, and I moved on to the next one, but like every fucking Honda, I'm battling rust. So try to take out that bottom bolt, and of course it snapped. So I'm gonna try to weld a bolt to that so I can back that off, and then hopefully I can put a new bolt through. But if I can't get it to back out, I'm gonna go ahead and drill that whole thing out and then get a different bolt to go all the way through. So that is where I'm at right now with lifting it. I just called the auto parts store. They have another shock and spring because that one is blown. It's been blown since I got the car. You can see how it's like crooked. So I'm waiting on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out, and then it is gonna be a waiting game until the auto parts store gets back to me. But today I found a very good deal on a full catback exhaust for this thing. So all that muffler shit will be gone, and I will be going to get a whole catback stainless steel exhaust for this thing tonight for only 90 bucks. So it's a pretty good deal. But there's also something missing under here, and that is a rear drive shaft. Me and my buddy took this thing out about a month ago and started hitting some trails and shit with it, and we snapped that motherfucker like clean off. You can see. So that is another thing I'm gonna have to tackle after the lift is done. So it actually is 4-wheel drive. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get that out, and then we will see what happens from there. Okay, so about an hour has gone by, and that hole is finally drilled out. Bada boom, bada bang. I'm gonna try to find a bolt that fits the width of that, and then I'm gonna measure the length of it and get a bolt from Lowe's. But I'm still waiting from the auto parts store for a new spring and strut to come back in. I wouldn't replace it, but it's actually blown, so that's gonna be it for that. But I'm waiting for that, and then we're gonna throw this all back up in here, and then the rear will be lifted, and then the next part of the lift I gotta tackle will be the front, but we'll see how that goes. But I'll get back to you guys once I got my other shock and strut. Alright, we're going to get that shock and spring because we weren't able to save the other one. But I'm gonna go pick that up. Gotta stop by Lowe's to get a bolt, and then head back, and hopefully I can get the back of it, just the back, lifted today, and then tackle the front later. But yeah, let's go get this done. Okay, as you can see, got a brand new shock and strut, probably the most expensive thing I've put on this car. It is lifted in the rear now, 2 inches both sides. Look at all that wheel gap in the back. And you roll on over to this side. Bam. So it's looking good. So the back is lifted, and now onto the front. But I'm not sure if I'm going to lift the front or not, because I kind of like how it looks. Kind of like a sand rod thing. So I'm probably not going to lift it in the front. But what's to come after this is just clean up all the fender wells and everything like that. Put some undercoating on some stuff, and then do a little system. Alright, it's the next day. Yesterday we lifted the back of it. I actually decided that I'm going to keep it that way. And what I mean by that basically is that I'm lifting the back and I'm not lifting the front. I like how it sits, so that's the way I'm going to go. Now, this kind of just popped up out of nowhere, but I'm going to go ahead and undercoat the whole bottom part that's taped off. And I decided to go a little bit higher than most people would, just to basically make a statement of how ridiculous this thing is. So I have it all taped off, and I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some bed liner. Now the front is all taped off the way I want it to, besides a couple little pieces I got to get rid of. And then after I do the whole top of it, I'm going to mask off as I go and do the bottom, so everything will be black. But I will get back to you guys once it's covered, and I'll touch base with you before I tackle the front. So yeah. And then also I said earlier on yesterday that I'm going to be getting a full catback exhaust for this, and I am, for only 60 bucks. So I will be picking that up on Friday right after work, and also be installing that. So I'll see you all in a minute after that is half black. Like a mix, baby. Okay, that's the damage. And I still have to go get one more can, but it's underlined. I have to go get one more can to do a couple of touch-up spots and one more fender. I think it turned out pretty good. It's the goofy look I was going for. Shit, I'm gonna stay with this for about a week or so, but I might go all black. Probably look really good all black. I didn't even go with the body lines, I just made it square. Looks fucking hilarious. But yeah, I gotta go grab one more can on the bike, and then probably grab a cheap head unit too, because mine, I've been battling with the volume button for a while, and then I went to rip everything out to fix it, and then I figured out a way I could still turn up the volume, so I didn't replace it, but I probably should. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys once I'm back from the bike and I get one more can. It's got a little bit of overspray on the top, and then I could probably scrub off the SOS pad. But looking pretty snazzy with the lift in the back and the fresh paint. Fuck yeah. Alright, just got back on the bike. I know it's a little bit later. I ended up cruising around for a while, but bought one last bottle, and the front is done. I think it looks pretty good in the front, all blacked out like that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now, it has a little bit of overspray, but as you can see, I took my hand and it'll be able to come right off. So that will be cleaned up, and it'll be, you know, looking a little bit better than that horrible silver line. But all the inner fender wells are covered, everything, all the way down. So I think it actually is going to look pretty nice once I get that all SOS scrubbed off, that little paint line. Just showing you guys that everything is covered. Oh yeah, and that new strut there. Nice. By the way, that's probably the most expensive thing I put on this whole car. But that's gonna be it for part 4, guys. Sorry I didn't lift the whole entire thing with those lift blocks in the back. But if you saw for yourself, you guys can do it. And they hold up too. They don't flex, because I took this thing off road as soon as we did it, and it did what it had to do. So don't think it won't work, it will. And those are 2-inch lift blocks. And I only lifted in the back, I'm not lifting in the front because I like what it looks like. But you guys can do it if you want to. So you guys know that you won't die. But part 5, we will be cleaning up this overspray line. I will be putting a new head unit in here, along with a little new shifter knob. And then a couple other things in the making I'm trying to do. But that's probably going to be it for part 5 as well. Oh yeah, and also next week, this will also be on part 5. I'll be getting rid of this junked out side pipe, and I'll be getting a full stainless steel catback exhaust. So that will be nice. I'm so sick of that thing roaring in my fucking ear when I'm driving. But stay tuned for part 5, guys. Just gonna keep building on it. So you guys have a good one. Subscribe, like, more and more videos to come on these projects and other ones. So have a good one.